71 games into their season, the New York Yankees sit at 38 and 33 in third place in the American League East, 4.5 games behind the first place Red Sox. They're almost halfway through what has been a wildly inconsistent season, and they have an off day today before Kansas City rolls in for a 3-game set. So I thought it would be a good time to break down the good, the bad, and the ugly behind this season. One of the good things about this Yankee team has been Garrett Cole. Cole has been, to say the least, an ace. He's 8-3 with a 2.31 ERA, a 2.44 FIP, and 89 2/3 innings pitched. He leads the American League with 9.75 strikeouts per walk, and he has a 3.6 wins above replacement, which is first on the New York Yankees. He has been everything that the Yankees signed him for. He's come over. Every time he's out there, the Yankees have a chance to win the game. Not only has Cole been absolutely dominant this year, he's also able to make adjustments on the fly. Some days he'll be a high strikeout pitcher, and other days when he doesn't have his best stuff, he'll adjust and start pitching to contact, like we saw in his last start against the Toronto Blue Jays. Went 8 innings, gave up 2 runs, only struck out 4 batters. Another good thing about this Yankee team has been the bullpen. They have been absolutely dominant. Jonathan Loaisiga with a 1.63 ERA, Chad Green with a 2.55, Aroldis Chapman, 16 for 18 in save opportunities, with a 1.98 ERA. Zach Britton just came back, and Lucas Litke has had a 2.57 ERA and thrown 35 innings in 26 games. Has been worth 0.8 wins above replacement. With all the struggles that the Yankees have had this year, the bullpen has not been one of them. Another good thing about this team has been Aaron Judge. Though he's gone on a little slide lately, he's hitting 200 in his last 7 games with 0 extra base hits. His season numbers are quite respectable. 280 average, 376 on base, 498 slugging percentage, which is good for an 874 OPS with a 143 OPS plus. And he leads the team in home runs with 15, runs batted in with 36, batting average at 280, and runs scored with 39. And he's also been very good defensively out in right field. The middle of the rotation, Jordan Montgomery and Domingo Germán have also been pretty good. While not as dominant as Cole, Montgomery's 3-1 with a 4.03 ERA in 76 innings, and Domingo Germán is 4-4 with a 4.17 ERA. Both of them have been a little inconsistent at times, but they've, for the most part, kept the Yankees' offense in games and given them a chance to win. And some of their bigger bats are starting to heat up a little bit lately, namely Gary Sanchez being one of the bigger ones. Miguel Andujar has been playing fairly well since getting the starting left field job, and Giancarlo Stanton is finally back from an injury. So maybe the offense is starting to turn it around a little bit. So now on to the bad things. We get to the back of the starting rotation. Jameson Taillon has not been very good this year. He's 1-4 with a 5.59 ERA, coming off of a second Tommy John surgery. He's thrown 58 innings and has a 74 ERA plus. He's shown some flashes of brilliance, but it's been a wildly inconsistent season for Jameson Taillon. He doesn't seem to have that put-away pitch. And then Michael King. He's 0-2 with a 6.32 ERA, and he's allowed 6 earned runs in the first inning as a starting pitcher. This is a case where I think if you're the Yankees going forward, I might not be opposed to giving Michael King an opener. Perhaps what you could do in the future once you get some of your other starters back, such as Corey Kluber or Luis Severino if he's able to come back, maybe open Jameson Taillon and then pitch Michael King after him, because that could be a pretty good combination. And another bad thing is lineup balance. The Yankees are running out 7, 8, 9 right-handed hitters, and on any given day, and even the 3 lefties that they have, Tyler Wade, Rougned Odor, and Brett Gardner, have not hit very well. Their 42.9% platoon advantage is second lowest in the major leagues up to this point. And maybe part of the reason that teams like the Tampa Bay Rays have been able to dominate them so much could be because the Rays have a lot of right-handed sinker-slider guys that match up well against right-handed hitters. So for the Yankees to get a little better, you want to add some lineup balance. There's some lefty options on the trade market. You could look at maybe an Adam Frazier or a Ketel Marte, even though the cost for both of those guys is probably going to be pretty high. Maybe if Estevan Florial heats up a little in AAA, you give him a chance. So there are options there. And now we move on to the ugly. The things that just have not gone right at all for the Yankees this season. And one of those has to be the base running. They have 32 outs on the bases. That is first in Major League Baseball. They almost had a 33rd yesterday. Gary Sanchez was almost tagged out going to third on a double. And they have a 31% extra base taken percentage, which is also dead last in Major League Baseball. They have not been a good base running team. There's been so many boneheaded outs on the bases, stuff that needs to get cleaned up going forwards, especially if they think that they're a championship caliber team. Another issue that they've had that's been downright ugly is situational hitting. There have been many spots where they have runners on third in less than 2 outs, and you see them strike out, or ground out to short, or pop out to the infield. They have a 43% conversion rate in those spots. And they also, in general, have the 8th lowest productive out percentage at 23.7%. So if they need to get better at situational hitting. Maybe they need to change their approach a little bit with a runner on third in less than 2 outs, and instead of trying to hit a 2-run homer, just try to put the ball in play somewhere, maybe try to make something happen, score the run that way. And they also have the highest ground into double play rate in Major League Baseball at 12.7%. Double plays are going to happen when you hit balls on the ground and get runners on base. But the Yankees are grounding into too many double plays. Another thing that has been absolutely abysmal for the Yankees has been their first base and their outfield production. In the outfield, despite Aaron Judge having a really solid year, they have a negative 2.1 wins above average. And at first base, they have a negative 1.3 wins above average. Now, Luke Voit should be coming back for the Kansas City series. Maybe they can get a little bit of production there, but they need more outfield production. Especially center field and left field. They need more production. And possibly the ugliest of all the ugly things this year has been the inconsistency, especially in the losing streaks. They start out 5-10, and then they go on a stretch where they're the best team in the American League, and then all of a sudden, you look up and they go on another stretch where they're 5-13 or something. They need to play more consistently. They need to win more consistently. They can't have these stretches where they're losing 10 of 15 games, because that's how you drop out of a division race. So overall, my take is the pitching overall has been solid. The offense has started to step it up a little bit, but the Yankees need to play consistently, and they need to have a different approach with runners on base and runners in scoring position, especially runners on third. They need to shorten up, especially in a year where balls just aren't flying out as much. We're not seeing as many home runs this year. So the Yankees, they need to find a way to just get big hits. Like Game 2 of the Oakland series, where Judge and Stanton came through with big ribby singles. They weren't flashy home runs, but they got the job done. So, right now they're 4.5 out. They need to beat Kansas City, and then they're headed out to Fenway Park, which is going to be an important series. The Yankees need to take 2 out of 3 from Boston as well. And let's go Yankees.